a day that was supposed to be a blessing to some of these youth, a day that they probably bid farewell to their parents, that they are going to maximize their chances of probably surviving the system, a day that they hope that at least they will have like a beacon of hope, a light at the end of the tunnel, maybe showing up to them in a certain kind of way, has turned tragic. In Accra here at the El-Wak Sports Stadium, the Ghana Armed Forces recruitment has actually turned very bad. We've lost about 6 lives. That was reportedly females that have lost their lives. And then we have about a lot of people have actually injured and they are currently receiving treatment at the hospital. The name remains Donald, not Trump. You're welcome to Inbred Media. And today we dive right into this very worrying news. Now, what actually happened? What actually led to this stampede at the El-Wak Sports Stadium? Now, this is something that is done yearly, whereby we have the Ghana Armed Forces opening their portals to actually accept, new recruits, people that are going to be at the forefront to defend the country. There's young people that are energetic and vibrant. They need new people to sort of, hold the system, hold the defense of this country together. And normally when it happens this way, a lot of youth rush to that side because they feel like it's a way to sort of get some level of income, okay, and also contribute in a certain way to the country, to their country. When you go to other countries, they have to literally beg some of the people in their countries to actually go into the armed forces. But in Ghana here, it's the upside down because obviously our unemployment rate is as you may know, is very high. So the youth actually use this time to actually maximize their chances of surviving if in case you are not coming from a family that can at least connect you to the right people to get jobs after school. Okay, so this thing, Angatano, it be me before this whole thing happened. I was monitoring the event on the media and then seeing and when I saw the magnitude of crowd that were actually there, Charlie, then my mind was boss. My dream, I say but most of us already know that in this kind of situations, Nangasano, in most cases, there are protocols that people have already exhausted these protocols and everything. So when you go there, Krana, it's more or less like you are going to add to the numbers. Okay, like the chances of actually people that are there that are going to get access to the slots that are available are very lean. Yeah, it's more or less like just a formality. Okay, and most of us that live in this country or that have lived in this country for a long time and know the procedures that comes with this, we know the truth, and it's always baffling when you see a lot of people there. But that also goes a long way to show the rate of unemployment and how people are so desperate. The young people of this country, we are desperate to actually make something for ourselves, even though sometimes people can argue that we are lazy and that we don't like working and everything. But they are desperate because if you look at even the training, the training sequence or the training sequence that this Ghana Armed Forces subjects some of these people that are able to even pass through to, it's not easy. So to have a lot of people like that going there specifically for that, it means that Charlie, there's a level of desperation when it comes to Charlie. I want to make it. I want to actually be the beacon of hope for my family. Okay. I'm not digressing because this issue is disheartening. Okay, it's very sad in a certain way. So, but let me just go right back to why this whole thing happened. Okay, so from eyewitness accounts, what actually caused this whole thing is
I didn't open the door early. The time I went there around 4:30. By the time I get there, the place was already crowded. By the time they opened the door and they were telling us to go back, that going back was not possible because we were already on crowd. If we say you are going back, it's either you fall down and they will step on you. So some people were climbing the wall because they couldn't go back. So they have to climb the wall. So when they released the door for us to go in, the pressure was too much. So we're just pushing each other. Everybody was trying her best how to do and get inside. So others were falling on the ground while we were stepping on them because you cannot do anything about it. When the person falls, you can't do anything about it. What you could do is just to step on the person and go out. It was not our fault too.
And from the press release from the Ghana Armed Forces, the official portal of the Ghana Armed Forces, they said that they bleached security protocols and stuff which led to all of this. And it's a very sad state of affairs right now. Who are we supposed to hold accountable for this happening? Who is responsible? Who is responsible? Who should be held responsible for all of this? Are we going to blame the young people that flooded the place because they were chasing their dream? They were trying to give themselves hope for a brighter future in a country that their future looked bleak? Or we should blame the organizers for not actually envisioning the number of crowd. And even if they didn't envision it and they later realized there's a lot of people, maybe they should have re-strategized and come up with a more effective way to actually handle the situation. Who are we supposed to blame? And I know it's difficult. I mean, I don't know how the families will be feeling now. Imagine that your kid, your brother, your sister, your nephew, your niece leaves home that, oh, look, I'm trying to also get into the armed forces, or I'm going to the recruit. They bid for it. The pals will even tell you that, Charlie, if you cook, if you do show in the evening, add my name because I will come back. Or say, if you cook in the evening, just add my name because in the evening I'll come and eat. And only for you to be home and they call you that, look, Kwame Akosia, yeah, unfortunately has passed on during a stampede at this place. I mean, it's disheartening in so many ways. And then I don't know how the families are feeling now. And my sincere condolences to the family. It's not their fault that sometimes this country happens to people. And I don't know, in this situation, you are not too sure even how to even speak in a way that will bring some level of how do I say, comfort to the family in question, because there's no other way. There's nothing that you can do to replace the loss of a life. Okay. And a lot of things are like, when this issue happened, people are saying things. I mean, most people are showing their concern. The president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has gone to the hospital to visit them. That was very swift, and I think we should commend him as well, that he made a very swift call to the hospital to see what actually happened with them. I saw him interacting with some of the people in the hospital and all that. And Charlie, it's an issue because it means the situation in this country is that bad in terms of employment. It means that most of the youth, they don't have any substantial thing to hold on to in terms of employment. Because if you are working and then at least you are getting a good salary, that you're okay. I doubt you go, the moment you even go there and you see the crowd, it should discourage you and then you go back to your work. So most of these youth there, that's even a section of the youth too. Most of the people there are youth that are perhaps were wallowing in hopelessness because of how the unemployment rate is. And as a country, we should be very, very, very concerned if this is the issue, because the youth, the energy, everything that's the youth, basically they are the future of the country. And look at this whole thing happening the way it's happening. It's sad. It's very sad. And I think something good can be done. I don't know what you think about this, but something more appropriate, more well organized can be done the next time. I mean, what unfortunately happened, there's no other way to say it. No matter how we do it, it has already happened. But how can we actually restructure things? I learned it's the whole recruitment thing has been postponed due to what happened. So I'm sure they are going to postpone it to a different date. So what structures can be laid in place with regards to the current experience, the bad experience we've had, to make sure that the next recruitment won't be as bad as this? Because look, no matter how you look at it, people will still come. It doesn't matter. It's that bad. The country, the unemployment rate is suffocating to the extent that people are willing to even die. Okay, because that's their only hope of survival. That's where they see their future. And if that door is shut, they feel like there's no hope for them. It's that bad. And Charlie, sometimes people don't understand. You see, living in this country is stressful. Make nobody lie you. This country, especially when you are born into an average family, or in worst case scenario, you've even passed average to the lower end. Look, it's very stressful, and you won't understand the mindset why people rush to this place unless maybe you've actually experienced certain things also. Then you realize that sometimes that's the only hope that most of these young people they see. So they went there specifically, okay, to maximize their chances of seeing even the light at the end of the tunnel. Because yes, they just wanted to see something. To them, that was a hopeful situation that can possibly, I mean, change their lives in a certain way. That's a situation like a portal as their future. And unfortunately, like they say, they thought that it was a light at the end of the tunnel, not knowing it was a train. It wasn't a light, so it was a train. That led to this whole tragic situation, and then condolences to the bereaved family. This issue, like I said, you don't know how to say it because there's no words or anything that can actually comfort the family or replace the life of a lost soul. But that's all we can say, and then we hope that the authorities will do the right thing, and then maybe provide some level of compensation to the families, or I don't know what they will decide to do. And also, I've heard an honorable minister of parliament saying some things that she took the religious approach that okay, it's something that was supposed to happen because Allah ordained for it to happen. That's why it happened the way it happened.
But I want us to all take solace in the Almighty Allah. There is nothing that happens that doesn't happen at the right time. This is what the Almighty Allah has ordained for them. Today is their day. No matter how, no matter what, no matter who was there, as what, even if we brought all the presidents of the world to sit there as ministers or whatsoever, once today is ordained for them to die, they will.
I didn't see the full context of the video. You know how these things are, because they can just cut the video to make the person look some way. So I don't want to really comment on it so much, so that at least I don't misquote the person, because there might be, I've not seen the extension of that video that she was speaking. But if I'm actually speaking on what she said, it was quite unfortunate that we have like leaders in the country speaking in that way. Not that what she said was bad, maybe based on faith she was right, okay, because she's speaking based on what she believes per her faith. But it was just something that has to, that's popular thing they say, that you should read the room. I think it wasn't the right time for those utterances to be made, and it's Charlie. I feel it wasn't the right time for those utterances to be made, because at this point, that's not what we need. We need to actually take responsibility for what happened before we talk about why God allowed things to happen, because then we are sort of ridding ourselves of the responsibility of what we should do the next time. So what happens if God that allowed it? Then it means that next time, are we not going to like sort of put practical measures in place to avoid this in the future too? So some of these things, like I said, I've not seen the full context of the video, so I don't want to talk in a way that it might sound like I'm not being fair to the MP. But then some of these things, I feel like if maybe a bit of restraining order with regards to speech is implemented, it will go a long way to sort of add some level of decorum to situations like this. So that it's a sad state of affairs, and Charlie, we are still following the news and to see whether there will be maybe something bright, something more positive with regards to those that are injured. Hopefully, we won't have any other souls. We won't lose any other person in inclusion to the 6 other lives that we've lost. That's my prayer, that at least they will be able to come through the medical authorities or medical people will be able to check on them well, so that at least they will make it, because we don't want more lives to waste more lives, Charlie. We need the youth, no matter how you look at it. You get it. So that's what's happening with regards to social media updates. The name remains Donald, not Trump. I don't know. I don't know what you really think about this, and then if you have any concerns with regards to how maybe next time they can structure this thing for it to be a more structured thing to prevent some of these unfortunate situations. Obviously, you can add your comments and your thoughts on the comment section, and also thank you for always doing this with me. I appreciate it so much, and you're part of history, and I'm very happy that at least I get to have interaction with you, and then I have that kind of privilege to sit here and always do this with you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and then comment if you have any opinion. It will be deeply appreciated. And the name remains Donald, not Trump. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.